Hello girls and boys. Today we are at the Kuala Lumpur International Mobility Show. That is KLIMS 2024. Yes, KLIMS has been gone for a while, but it's back now and it has a new name to boot. So it's no longer the International Motor Show. It is in fact the Mobility Show. That is to reflect the inclusion of a whole slew of new EV, electric vehicle models from a bunch of different brands. One of those brands is Honda right here, a national hero, a hometown favorite, if you will. So the Honda HR-V is one of the most popular models that the brand has under its belt. And this is the Honda HR-V EN1 concept, meaning it is basically the HR-V that we all know and love, but it is fully electric. So if I were to show you what's underneath, there would be nothing much, just a bunch of batteries. So this is in essence just an EV version of the HR-V, right? But you can see that in terms of styling, in terms of body kit, in terms of design, it's actually very, very similar to the regular HR-V that we are used to. If anything, I would wager only the dimensions on the inside would be slightly impacted by these big heavy batteries. Other than that, I'd assume everything stays the same. So you can see the headlights are all pretty much the same. The front is, again, let me confirm that, pretty much the same, except, well, you see this Honda badge here, slightly different, right? It's not like the Honda badge we're used to. It's a bit different, but I kind of like it. The whole black and white motif, it's very simple, it's very subtle, but at the same time, it doesn't sort of force you to look at it. You know, it's not like one of those showy or loud badges that it's like, look at me. No, this is very simple, very straight to the point, and I love that. Coming off to the side, you'll notice there is body cladding right here in black, which you can see very well because they highlighted it in the white car, which is part of the front skirts and so on and so forth. You've also got this multi-spoke wheel design right here on these nice, fairly sized Continental tires. Off to the side, you'll notice the chunky wing mirror with, I don't see a camera here. So maybe no ADAS, maybe there will be very basic ADAS. Who knows? We'll take you inside in a second, but you can see along the side, it is pretty much the same as the HR-V you're used to, with the rear door handle being up here, just like the petrol model. Off to the back, you will notice that they sort of hollowed out the lights. It's not red, so you don't notice this like red connotation to it. It's more clear, which I do like, because honestly this just looks a lot better. It's a lot less showy, it's a lot less in your face. In the rear here, you've got a nice little spoiler with your extra brake light, and this is the real kicker: Honda wording instead of the Honda badge. So once again, this is the Honda HR-V EN1. So it's basically a HR-V, but they tried to distinguish it to tell you that it is in fact an EV, and it's not the same as the regular HR-V. So let's see what we get in the booth. Will space be impacted? I'm happy to say it does not look like that at all. You've even got a false floor under, oh my bad. You've even got a false floor underneath here to store things like what I assume will be your EV chargers and so on and so forth. Is this a tonneau cover? No, it's not. Okay, so that is a brace for the seats to keep the seats in place. But as you can see, your tonneau cover is up here and the boot space is still massive. This is what Honda is known for: man maximum, machine minimum. Look at that. I can even sit back here in the booth, and I'm not a small guy by any metric. So yeah, Honda is very good at making use of space, and that will never ever change. So let's take you inside the Honda EN1 and show you what it's like in there. Okay, so inside the Honda EN1, you will notice right off the bat that it is very, very similar to the regular HR-V. Once again, let me show you the mirror here, because it's got a little light on the vanity mirror right here, and I assume that will be the same case here on the passenger side. Yeah, there you go, exactly the same. So that is a nice thing. Also, I don't see a sunroof up here, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, if you ask me, that is a very, very good thing, because I am so sick and tired of every car manufacturer slapping a sunroof on everything, even cars that don't really need one. But other than my small rant, you'll notice that the interior here is very cozy, it's very spacious, because even though you have a nice big center, chunky center console right here with a portrait style central infotainment screen, you have so much space. I can really just stretch out. Look at this. My legs are stretched all the way out. You've got your P, N, D, and reverse button down here. This I don't really like so much. I prefer having a more conventional gear shifter, but you know what? It's an EV, so it has to be futuristic, right? You've also got your drive mode selector here, electronic parking switch, cup holders, central console here, nice big cubby space. Not the deepest, but honestly very, very usable. And I do like the fact that the steering wheel now is kind of rounded here for the horn section, right? Because the rest of it still looks pretty much squarish. It is more cylindrical if you really look at it, but this is a very nice design. And then you've got your buttons on the multifunction steering wheel and a tiny little digital driver display right here, which you look through the steering wheel to see. This is nice because it's not so distracting, it's not so big, right? Like some cars, it will be huge, and that's just a pain because like you got so much going on, you don't really know what you need to be looking at. So I would say this is like the best thing you can do. Of course, you got your window controls and lock buttons on the side as well. Aircon vents up here with the aircon controls being right up top. Take a look at that. So these are your aircon vents. This is the aircon control. And I'm so glad Honda didn't put that in some setting in this screen because dear God, is that annoying as all hell to me. But that should sum up. Oh, I forgot to mention there's blue and white stitching on the door cards as well as the dash, while the seats have a white stitching to them, perforated, so I'm hoping they come with ventilated seats. Now, oh yes, there's also a wireless charger right here in the center. I did not notice that, along with a 12-volt socket. So that should sum up the interior. Hopefully that if Honda does launch the EN1 HRV, whatever you want to call it, here in Malaysia, the spec stays more or less the same as this. I do hope they will add some ADAS features though, because I did not notice a camera on the driver side. There is one on the wing mirror on the co-driver side, but that's part of Honda's RDS system. If you know, you know, right? Of course, you got your speakers here, so I'm hoping sound quality will be good. Let's check out the back and wrap things up. Yep. Okay, so in the back here, I could notice something a bit more clearly. Ambient lights. So you'll notice it's on this door card as well. It was also on the front. It's just that because of the lighting here at KLIMS, I couldn't really notice the full lighting and the ambient lighting system as much because it's a little bit dim, right? I'm assuming it's just the color because it's a very dark shade of blue. But other than that, it's fantastic back here. Man maximum, machine minimum. Honda's philosophy is never been more clear, even back here, because I've got pretty decent headroom, right? Despite there being a sloping roof, I've got fantastic legroom. Now, remember, that was set to about where I would be driving the car. Maybe a little bit further back would be a bit more comfortable for me. But even then, let's say I'd have to move my feet a little bit more to the back. I've still got so much legroom here, and it's fantastic. You could actually fit 3 people abreast. It's just that whoever's in the center, they might suffer a little bit if they're very big. But if they're smaller, like let's say you're a bit smaller than I am, you would have no problem right here in the middle, because you also get an armrest. Okay, that just plopped all the way down. I'm sure Honda will add something to it to make it straight in the production model, but again, this is mostly a concept. You got cup holders here as well, so you'll notice that this car does not have any compromise in terms of space, and that is a fantastic thing because Honda has always been known for this, their spaciousness. So the fact that they can carry that forward even in an EV, which does have rear aircon vents by the way down here, along with a nice little storage space, is fantastic news, because that means Honda hasn't forgotten their roots. Honda hasn't forgotten what their customer base wants. And I think that is a good thing. And I hope that they can bring this car in production form at a very, very good, unbeatable price, because I am fairly certain that a lot of EV buyers will appreciate this Honda HR-V eN1. What do you guys think about it though?